me curiosity. That's how I started. I was like, ooh, video content. I don't think it's for me, but I'm interested. I've been doing it for a year now, and to anyone I can say, if I can do it, they can do it too.
Samira, thank you so much for joining us. We're here at Crisp Street Market, and you're watching Local Insiders Digital Jobs. We spoke with digital industry professionals in Camden, Hackney, Islington and Tower Hamlets to understand their different pathways to finding digital jobs. Amos Mukombero in conversation with Samira Ahmed, presented by Lyft and Good Growth Hub. Could you tell me about your internship and how that's helped you get to your career at where you're at the moment?
Lyft, I did a little program called Creative Start, which was a 12-week internship. It was actually really interesting because I didn't personally have any experience in editing and video work. I was interested in that because I was just like, okay, I like content. I see people do it all the time, so I was thinking it'd be really nice if I'm the person that made that type of work. That type of program gave me that experience because I had no experience at all. Nada. They didn't care about that. They just wanted to give people from disadvantaged backgrounds this type of experience because, it's about putting more people in the creative industry, especially people like for me. I come from a family where they don't have any connections. Me and my older sister are the one that goes to uni. My parents didn't go to uni. This internship gave me that experience and they gave me that connection. Yeah, it was actually really amazing, and the great thing about it, it's where I'm currently working right now. So I'm the social media and community executive. I do a lot of video work. I manage the company's social media, so the TikTok, Instagram, basically everything. I'm in charge of creating videos, editing, and just about try to reach out to the community.
What has been your favourite project that you've worked on, the one you're most proud of?
Thank you for asking. I was actually quite excited to talk about this. My company, they're called The People. We want to do a project around the Muslim community, especially how we know that they're very underrepresented and their voices are unheard of. I was the one that was in charge of advertising that. So we did a little paid type of project where we paid them for the time to hear about the live experience. And the video ended up getting over 15,000 views. And over 200 people applied. But the fact that there are 3 million Muslims in the UK, yet we don't hear the voice, it's less than 1%. So you can tell that by the response that they were very surprised and they actually appreciated it. Make sure voices that's unheard of are heard and that they have the same amount of opportunities as everyone else. It was really nice. I really enjoyed that.
It's so special, to give back to society, as you mentioned. Are there any hobbies or interests that you enjoy doing that either help you with your work or that are related to your work?
I do a lot of video content, and that includes me facing in front of the camera. It does help that I have a theatre background, so I'm a drama student, I was a drama student, and I did acting, so I did a whole theatre degree. That skilled help, because I know for sure if it was for someone who had no experience being in front of the camera, they're going to be a bit shy, they're going to be nervous. I like anything creative really, like editing, making videos, just the whole process behind it is where I belong.
Should we sit down? You up for that? I've chose a great spot. I'm really curious to know what challenges that you face with your role and how you've overcome them.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm actually deaf, so I wear hearing aids and I'm a proud member of the deaf community. So one of the struggles that I have is lack of accessibility, and it's actually quite irritating actually, I'm going to be honest. If I'm in a big room and it's quite echoey, I can't hear very well. It's one thing for someone who has no connections, whatever, trying to break into the tech industry. It's another thing when I can barely hear what's happening and people are assuming I'm ignoring them, when I just can't hear. So one of the good things that they did about this was the Lyft provided me with free access to work, which is a deaf program run by the government where they provide you some tools. They gave me some assistive devices, which is called a Roger pen, phone app pen. It's amazing because I can hear every sound, even the sound of someone breathing. For example, I can't watch anything without subtitles, and that's what I'm trying to do. I work in the tech industry, and all the work I do, I always make sure there's subtitles in it. I always make sure any text we do are big and bold, so people who have learning disabilities or people with dyslexia can be able to read it. This is the world that we should be working towards. Accessibility and making sure that everyone can see it when they want to and not excluding the minority.
Now that was great. Eloquently said as well. What's one thing about your role that maybe people overlook or a misconception about your career path?
I do a lot of creating videos, so content creation and editing. Whatever content you create and you're putting it out to the world, you're putting some sort of message behind it. So you need to make sure everything spread in the world, it aligns with who you are and the goals that you have. And I think in general, people should be very clear on what we post online. It should be very understand the word and the impact we have on other people. It's kind of like storytelling as well, if that makes sense. When I post some sort of videos or something, I look at the story I'm trying to say, what am I trying to tell people? What's the reason I'm doing this? What's the impact I want? I'm always so aware of what I'm trying to say to people. And that way I know, even if it doesn't get much views or something, at least I know it's going to reach someone out there who will be impacted in a positive way.
That's such a great lead. This is my last question. If I was your younger self, if I was someone trying to get into your career path, what advice would you give?
I think just first of all, I'm going to be honest, it is quite hard if you're from a cultural background, especially because we don't have that connection. Generally, if you come from a family where your parents haven't gone to uni or something and you don't have that connection and you're struggling, and it kind of puts you down, but the truth is you can do it. If you put it in your mind, and then we have the skills, if someone say, or they're a talker or something, they can use that to be there's someone who's great with communications, or they can make them into storytelling. Any skills they have can be transformed in any sort of way. You don't need the experience and the education. It's more just your motivation. If you just have that ambitious, any curiosity, just the whole idea, that's how I started. I was video content. I don't think it's for me, but I'm interested. I've been doing it for a year now, and to anyone I can say, if I can do it, they can do it too.
Samira, thank you so much. Your story's been so inspiring. You've been amazing. It's been such a pleasure going on a walk with you. I learned so much. I hope if you're watching, you learned something too. This video has been presented by Lift and Good Growth Hub, supported by Mayor of London, in partnership with Camden, Hackney, Islington and Tower Hamlets Borough Councils. Creative direction and visuals by Walk with Amos and Usman Dare. Lift supports people from underrepresented backgrounds living in Camden, Hackney, Islington and Tower Hamlets to find jobs and training in the tech, creative and science sectors. For more information, visit www.liftfutures.london.